Good afternoon, hello, I'm back this week. Sorry about no video last week. I had quite a bit on with cycling. I know everybody loves to hear that. No, I cycled from Wales back to Leicestershire. It was a bit of a trek. So that took up a few days, and then recovery. I didn't want to do anything because it was cold, wet and horrible. I've never seen rain like it. It rained the whole 2 days cycling back, and I had a cold. So I was ill, couldn't be bothered with anything koi related, but I'm back this week, so hello. So yeah, not a lot been going on really, other than the shower that I had mega issues with, unfortunately passed away. Came back, just killed over in the bottom of the pond, just laying on the floor. Finally just sort of given up, I think. We were talking to some friends the other day, I think possibly some kind of internal issues with the fish, so probably fighting a losing battle. It had some antibiotics, one dose, that didn't seem to touch it, and then a few days after that it had just given up. It had lost an absolute ton of body weight. I've got no footage of it or anything like that, but from June to today, I found a video of I had it in a bowl in June. It's half the size it was width-wise, if not less. So there was clearly something wrong with it, and obviously not helped along with the fact that the amount of treatments that I've had going in the pond this past few months, you know, it's sort of crazy that it survived this long, but anyway. So that's gone, unfortunately. I still do have a few issues with a couple of fish in there. The big Kohaku's got that, I'm not sure where I'm at with telling you about this, but it's got a mark on the inside of its lip, bottom lip. I did tamidine it, put it back in 10 days ago, something like that, and then it's looking a little bit red again, so I do need to get that out and have a dabble with some tamidine on it and just probably knock it out just to have a look. So I think it had a couple of little sores underneath as well. The big chag with the massive hole on its side, it's whited over now, so it's obviously starting to heal. Again, lost an absolute ton of scales, that fish. And a shower in there's got a little bit of its bloody peck missing. I mean, I don't know, there's obviously some kind of bacterial issue within the pond, but I don't know how that's possible with the fact, the absolute mega dosage of, it's probably like a quadruple dose of CT I put in. Maybe a little bit more actually, I can't remember. It was a very heavy dose of CT, and that was about, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago now. It wasn't long after I got back on holiday, I think. So I don't know. There's still salt in there as well. I'm going to get my salt meter just to check to see where we're at, but there is still salt in the pond. I've only been topping up with water. I've not been adding salt, so it will be going down slowly, but as we know, it takes forever because you're only taking out a small percent when you're putting water back in. So, but I'm not overly worried about that. I'm thinking the salt's going to be more of a help than a hindrance to me. But other than that, everything's okay. Managed to sell all my grow-on stuff eventually, thanks to Rob. Came down to pick up the actual grow-on tank from the garage. We got it all in your van eventually, didn't we? And the various other bits and bobs have gone out, so that's all done now. So I'm happy that that's gone. It's just trying to get the issues with these few fish in here now sorted before winter does come in. Although the sun's out today, it's up there. The past few mornings have been absolutely brass monkeys. It's been freezing. There was even a slight frost yesterday where I am here, so colder weather is on its way. So I need to try and get anything sorted that needs sorting beforehand, really. So I need to get on top of this Kohaku and the show with the bit missing out of its fin. I'm probably going to have to chop part of its peck off. It's really odd. When I get it out, I'll get a video. It's just odd how it's damaged it. I don't know. I'm going to take a bit of advice first, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So it might not be this video. It might be next week. But it is really weird. Other than that, when I got the shower out last, it was this other shower. It was absolutely mint. So again, a rather rapid issue there. So who knows? But anyway, water quality is looking good. Parameters are fine. It's just these 3 or 4 fish with issues. Well, one less now with the shower going the other day. So, just like losing fish hand over hand over fist this year. It's been hand over fist. It's been a bit mental this year. I've probably lost 6 or 7 fish. I mean, I've not added any fish for well over a year now, because what's the point when I've still got issues? Yeah, I've got others in here that look fine, so sort of I don't really know where I'm at with it all, and I don't know what is happening. I'm just trying to make do with what I can make do with, really. So that's where it's at. Now I'm off work tomorrow, so I'm going to start winterising part of the pond, which it might be in this video, it might be in next week's video, I don't know, it might be a separate one. And I've got to get a couple out, so I've got a bit of a busy day fish-wise tomorrow. Mrs has gone away for a few days, kids will be at school and stuff, so I'll have, you know, no disturbances. I can just crack on and get stuff done. Hopefully the weather's kind. It's going to be sunny but not particularly hot, not like today. It's got to be 20-ish degrees today. I think tomorrow's only sort of 13, 14, 15-ish as a max. So that's where I'm at. I'll catch you tomorrow. Probably after this for you lot, but it's tomorrow for me, when I will be getting some fish out. Just give a quick once over, and I'll film a little bit of that as well, and then we'll start winterising everything, unfortunately. Boom, winter's on its way. I'm going to get that Kohaku out to have a clean up of its mouth, and this shower is the one with the missing part of its pec fin. It's obviously not happy with its mouth there, look, flashing its head around. It's not happy with the mouth at all there. Let's see if we can get that on video. So yeah, so that one and that one. It's going to bloody come this way, is it? And I actually need to get that little, the only one I've got left now, the Adam Byer Kohaku out. Because next month at the club we're just going to do a quick update, just to see how everybody's getting after a couple of months. It's not playing ball, is it? So yeah, so I'm down to, I don't even know what I've got now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 fish, if that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, 10 fish. It's never ending, isn't it? So I'll get my stuff together and then have a closer look at them couple. Here's my Kohaku from Adam Byer, the only one I've got left. It's 31 cm now. I'm not sure how much that's grown, I'll have to double check the records, but liking it. White's really good on it. It's got a bit of pox on its dorsal here, look. Other than that, it's nice and clean underneath, there's no nicks or marks on it other than the bit of pox, but I'm loving it. You've got a fish that's going right for, or staying good for once. Yeah, I like it a lot. A little bit drowsy, just add it in the bowl, just give it a quick check over. It's a bit lively this one, so still a bit sleepy. Yeah, goodbye that. Happy. Just pity about the other one, but hey ho. Right, let's get that one back. Here you go, fella. And then I'll move on to some of the sick and injured. Right. The joys. Here we go. The fish is over now. Just have a quick look underneath again. So, nice and clean. I think there was a couple of marks on this actually. I'll have to go back on a previous video. Actually, it's caught a bit of that there, isn't it? I mean, it's not red and horrible. Caught a bit of that off. So I'll put a bit of treatment on that. Nice and good. 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 I'll have a quick look in its gills in it. Should have put it in a bigger bowl. But so, yeah, look at that. Nasty. That is sore. So, obviously going to have to just treat that. I have managed to source some Baytril, so I'm going to give it a jab as well, just to help it along, because mouths are notoriously difficult, because obviously it's always moving. That might even be down to the bone. Ouchie. Everything else on, bar that tiny little mark on its other peck, other than its mouth, I haven't looked in its gills yet, everything is good. So God knows how it's done that to its mouth. So I'll probably trim that little manky bit off there, just take a bit off. And then, mind you, it's not that red. I'll just put some Tamidine on it and see where we go, and then I'm going to give it a jab, clean its mouth up, and then get it back in. Odd. Everything else is lovely on it, so really weird. But that's been my whole year, really. Right, I'll do that without the camera. Back in a bit. If you're trimming something, ideally you want to try and trim it so it's tidy rather than like a right angled fin or something like that. So I obviously trim that little edge off and just tidied it around so it's actually curved. I'm going to put a little bit of HP on that and a bit more Tamidine, and then put it over by the water, fish over by the waterfall, and return, splash return over there, get it round a bit quicker. Breathing a bit heavier, so it should come round in a minute. So just brushed a bit of HP on, see it froths up, and then just rinse it off, and then I'll put a bit more Tamidine on that. It should hopefully stop the bleeding as well. There you go, it's up and around now. I've got my next victim in the bowl. We have the shower with the bit missing out of its peck fin. So I'm probably properly going to have to butcher this one, I think. Hey ho, well you'll see in a minute. Now this is way worse than I thought it was. Look at that actual bone there. So I'm gonna have to cut it, because that is never going to heal. So I'm going to have to take the first 2 or 3 of them rays out, cut it across the peck at the top there. Wow, that is nasty. Nasty, nasty. Wowzers. But again, the rest of the fish, Jesus, even worse underneath, look. But unbelievably, the rest of the fish is fine, there's not a mark on it. Fins are good. Mouth, is the mouth good? Is that just some sumi there? Yeah, it's just a bit of sumi on its nose there. Mouth's good. Gills look good. odd. Obviously some kind of bacteria within the pond, but God knows how it's got that. But the amount of treatments that I've had, especially with the mega ridiculous dose of CT, the joys, eh? Look at all this secondary. Right. Jesus. Right. Up to it, I suppose. So, not the prettiest of fins, and I was saying a minute ago, literally 5 minutes ago, about trying to make something a nice shape, but I've had to cut all the horrible red stuff off, and that's what it's left with. There's no horrible red crappy bits on it now, so just hope that the tiny bits of exposed bone from the rays where I've cut get a bit of healing on to keep any infection out. So I've given it a jab, quite extreme, but I'd have probably ended up losing the fin. The infection would have got into the body, and then the fish would have died anyway. So I'm thinking this is the best way forward for me. So I'm going to have to get it out in a couple of days again, probably just to give it another jab and just to clean the wound. I need to keep this clean. But as I say, I've looked in the gills. Gills are fine. The rest of the fish is fine. It's just that fin, unbelievably. So I'm just going to put some more tamidine on it and then get it back in. The joys. So, just having a bit of a mooch at the fish for a few minutes with the air off. I think I did mention this before actually. The Shiro had a slight mark on the top of its eye. I haven't really noticed it before. It's looking worse now. I'm actually probably going to have to get it out. I thought I could do it in the bowl, but look at that. What is going on? Go this way. I think I'm going to knock that out just to have a closer look. A bit angry in the bowl, this one. So that's not good as well. Oh, there was me thinking I was done. So I've just cleaned it up a bit, and lo and behold, there's a massive bit missing by its eye. Again, rest of the fish, not a mark on it, mint, apart from one thing. Gills are good, everywhere else is good, all the fins are good, there's no red marks or bits on it. Absolutely at a loss. There's obviously some kind of bacterial issue going on here, because anytime anything gets a knock, everything's just, nothing's healing, it's just going bad. I suppose I need to speak to somebody like either Paula Reynolds or Duncan Griffiths or someone like that, because I haven't got a clue, and it doesn't seem to matter what I do. It's just nasty. Nothing is helping. So I'm just going to finish cleaning that up and then get it back in really. Not a lot else I can do. I'm going to give it another jab, but get it back and then make a few calls, I suppose. Oh, the joys. Hello, it's me, I'm back again. So this is where we're at. Just got off the phone to Paula Reynolds. Actually just spoke to a mate of mine, and he just can't believe what's going on really. We're talking about getting professional help. So rung Paula Reynolds, been on the phone to her, and the action now is she's going to send me a swab out. I'm going to take a swab of the fish. I'm going to send it off. They're obviously going to analyse it and tell me exactly what kind of bacterial issue that I've got, and then she's going to help me get the antibiotics required to treat this from a local vet. She was saying that it's never easy trying to speak to vets and stuff, but obviously I'm going to have a lab report detailing exactly what the issue is. I've got photos of me infected fish on my phone anyway, and if needed they can ring Paula up and the lab up to see and just confirm everything that I'm saying, because obviously antibiotics need to be controlled and used correctly and all this kind of rubbish. So it could potentially be easy, but it could on the other side be a bit more tricky. So from speaking to her, she's definitely saying I have got some kind of bacterial issue and I do need to sort it, and I'm more than likely going to be having to inject all of the fish because I need to get rid of the bacteria that's in them, because they can be carriers of bacteria, and it doesn't come to light until apparently there's a wound when the bacteria enters the body, and it gets bad, and then it just moves. The bacteria is always there, isn't it, and moves to another fish until eventually it gets a slight knock which won't heal, and then the bacteria takes the opportunity to go in and then erode the fish. So there was a good half an hour spent on the phone, but it's just like, is this maybe the issues that I've been having for the whole year? Forget what, bar the flukes, but that's relatively easy to sort. But any kind of knocks and flashing were then causing, I was getting issues which were then causing fish to either die or get beyond repair, and I've had to put them out. So anyway, it's not mega expensive either, so I would definitely suggest anyone with an issue just to speak to Paula. I think just to get a swab and a lab report, 85 quid. Consider how much we spend on fish and other treatments and everything else and stuff not to work. 85 quid to tell me exactly what the issue is, and to have someone on the end of the phone give me exactly the pointers of what to do, how to do it, and all that kind of rubbish. So I'm feeling a bit positive now. I've spoken to her, and hopefully the swab can come. If she gets it out today, it should be here tomorrow, and then I can do that at some point over the weekend, and then hopefully within the next couple of weeks I can get my lab report, and then hopefully find out what the issue actually is bacterial wise, because it's not parasites, it's not water quality. I mean, water quality is fine, I haven't got any parasites on fish now, so but there we go, the joys of keeping fish. Well, that's it for today. In fact, that's it for this video. I'll catch you next week. I'm disappointed about not doing the video last week. I've been trying to do one every week since I've been having absolutely crap loads of problems. So sorry about last week. Should have plenty to talk about this week. I'm going to start winterising things and stuff. That'll be probably the next video, or a video very soon, because I bought all that lagging and stuff. I need to sort all of that out. And obviously I've got all this going on with Links Fish Health, Paula Reynolds. I'll put a link below to her page and stuff. It's definitely worth having a look at, and I say if anyone else has got any kind of very similar issues to me, give her a call. Obviously advice is free. I just spent half an hour on the phone, so it's worth doing, isn't it, to find the problem. Anyway, catch you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.